Hey everyone, welcome back to Chapter 30 of our Shadowing series. Today is a massive milestone for both of us and for everyone listening at home. We are officially closing this chapter by reflecting on one of the most intense experiments you can ever undertake in language learning. What actually happens when you force yourself to speak English every single day for 30 straight days?
That's right, Lily. When we first launched this 30-day shadowing challenge, a lot of people thought it was just going to be another routine set of grammar drills or vocabulary lists. But as anyone who has actually tried this knows, 30 days of absolute consistency changes everything. It doesn't just build your vocabulary, it fundamentally rewires the way your brain processes new sounds, handles pressure, and constructs sentences in real time.
Honestly, Ethan, if I'm being completely transparent, the first week was an absolute nightmare for me. I remember waking up on day 3, looking at my microphone thinking, I have absolutely nothing to say today. My mouth felt clumsy, my accent sounded super awkward to my own ears, and every time I tried to formulate a complex sentence, my brain just went completely blank. Did you go through that same psychological wall at the beginning?
Oh, 100%. Days 1 through 7 are what I always call the frustration zone. It's that painful phase where your brain is desperately trying to translate every single thought word for word from your native language before letting it leave your mouth. You stumble over simple prepositions, you pause every 3 seconds, and you feel frustrated because you know you are an intelligent person, but you sound like a completely different, limited version of yourself in English.
That is so true. It feels like you are losing your entire personality in translation. You want to make a joke, express a subtle opinion, or tell a funny story, but you get stuck searching for a basic verb. But here is the major takeaway from that first week. That discomfort is not failure. That discomfort is literally your brain building new neural pathways. If it feels hard, it means your brain is actually doing the heavy lifting to adapt.
Exactly. And then you hit week 2. Week 2 is where the real shift begins to happen. You don't suddenly become Shakespeare overnight, but you stop opening Google Translate every 5 seconds. Instead of panicking when you don't know a specific word, you naturally start using circumlocution.
Wait, Ethan, let's unpack that word for a second because it's a game changer for anyone struggling with fluency. What exactly is circumlocution in everyday speaking?
Circumlocution is simply the art of describing a concept when the exact target word slips your mind. For example, if you are in the middle of a conversation and you suddenly forget the word refrigerator, a beginner will stop, freeze, and ruin the entire momentum of the sentence. But someone who is training their brain daily will smoothly say, the cold box in the kitchen where we keep the milk fresh. The listener understands you instantly. The conversation keeps flowing, and you completely avoid that awkward silence.
I love that explanation because it shifts the goalpost. Fluency isn't about knowing every single word in the dictionary. Fluency is about keeping the river of conversation flowing no matter what breaks along the way. And speaking of flow, by week 3 of speaking English every day, I noticed something absolutely wild happening in my sleep. I actually started dreaming in English.
That is always the ultimate sign of a breakthrough. When English starts showing up in your dreams, it means your subconscious mind has finally stopped treating it as an external academic subject and has started accepting it as an active tool for processing your reality. You stop doing that exhausting internal translation step. Input in English, internal processing in English, output in English. No middleman required.
It feels like a massive weight being lifted off your shoulders. But Ethan, let's address the elephant in the room. What about the fear of making mistakes in front of other people? Because I know so many people who practice fine in their bedroom, but the moment they step into a real conversation with a native speaker, their mind completely shuts down due to social anxiety or fear of being judged for their accent.
I get asked about this all the time, and my answer's always the same. Native speakers make mistakes constantly. We drop grammar rules, we use informal slang, we break sentence structures, and we use filler words all day long. But more importantly, native speakers do not care about your accent. They care about understanding your message. An accent is not a weakness or a sign of poor education. An accent is physical proof that you took the brave step to learn more than one language.
That is so powerful, Ethan. An accent is a badge of honor, not something to cover up or be ashamed of. When you finally embrace your unique voice and stop aiming for an artificial, perfect standard, your confidence skyrockets instantly. People respond to your energy, your enthusiasm, and your clarity much more than they respond to flawless grammar.
Let's give our listeners some practical tools that they can start using today to sound more natural when they speak. For example, what should someone do when they need a few seconds to organize their thoughts during a fast-paced discussion?
Instead of freezing or making long sounds, you can use natural filler strategies. You can say something like, "That's a really interesting point. Give me a quick second to gather my thoughts." Or, "Well, looking at it from that perspective, here is how I see it." Those simple filler phrases buy your brain precious seconds to construct your idea without losing the floor or looking unprepared.
That's a brilliant strategy. And what happens if you realize mid-sentence that you made a huge grammar mistake or used the wrong word?
Never apologize or start over with panic. Just smoothly pivot by saying, "What I mean to say is," or "let me rephrase that real quick," and keep moving forward with total composure. When you act like it's not a big deal, the person you are talking to won't think it's a big deal either.
Looking back from day 30 compared to day 1, the transformation isn't just about speed or cleaner pronunciation. It's about emotional resilience. At the beginning of a 30-day challenge, every mistake feels like a disaster that ruins your confidence for the rest of the day. By day 30, a mistake is just a tiny bump in the road that you barely even notice.
So, let's ask the ultimate question to wrap up this 30-day journey, Ethan. After 30 straight days of speaking English, did we turn into 100% perfect master speakers who never struggle with a sentence again?
Not at all. And that was never the realistic goal. Fluency is not a final destination where you sit down, put your feet up, and say, "I'm done learning." Language fluency is like a physical muscle. It's an ongoing lifestyle that you have to continuously feed and maintain. But what actually happened over these 30 days was life-changing. We eliminated the crippling fear of speaking. We built a daily habit that runs on autopilot, and English stopped feeling like a foreign chore and finally became our natural daily communication tool.
Start your own 30-day challenge today. Speak out loud to your mirror. Narrate what you are cooking in your kitchen. Talk to your phone while recording voice notes. Or shadow along with Lily and Ethan every single day. Consistency will always beat talent, raw intelligence, or luck. Put in the daily work. Trust the natural process and never stop pushing your limits.
Thank you so much to every single one of you who stuck with us through all 30 chapters of this shadowing journey. Your dedication, your messages, and your progress have been nothing short of inspiring.
You have all the potential inside you to master this language. Keep practicing out loud, keep making mistakes with pride, and keep building that muscle every single day. You've got this. Keep pushing forward, keep shadowing, and we will see you at the next level.